It's the late 1930s and the eyebrows are thin, pussy bows are in, and the waves are waving. And Ruth Wakefield invented the chocolate chip cookie. That's right, the chocolate chip cookie is only 87 years old. They are actually younger than vanilla wafers and Oreos. I know, amazing. So Ruth Wakefield supposedly invented this by accident, but she was no slouch, and she actually had a degree in household arts. So yes, she had a degree in household arts, and she created the chocolate chip cookie recipe. And she sold that recipe in 1939 to Nestle with the name Toll House. Now, I'm not a slouch either, but I like to make things simple. So I decided that I'm gonna show you my simple chocolate chip cookie recipe. It's very easy, and it's halves and pretty much full cups and halves and full tablespoons. You cannot go wrong. Now, here's the recipe for my very simple chocolate chip cookies. Let's get started. For my very simple chocolate chip cookie recipe, what you're going to need is 1/2 cup of butter, 1 tablespoon of vanilla, 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. You can use dark or light. I always use dark. 1 egg, 1/2 cup of regular sugar, 3/4 cup chocolate chips, 1.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And what you're gonna do is you are going to cream the sugars with the butter first and add the egg. So we are going to do that in our next step. All right, so I've melted my butter in the microwave, but you could also keep your butter out on the counter to melt it down so it'll be easy to mix. I'm also going to be using arm strength today to mix. I'm not going to be using a blender. I feel like, not a blender, a mixer. I also feel like this gives it just that little bit of hominess to it, and really authentic, made it with your own bare hands. Sweat and blood. So that's what I'm going to be using today to mix it up, but feel free to use whatever you want. Stand mixer, hand mixer, your own hands. That is up to you. So I'm going to add these in and mix it up, and then we'll go to the next step. Giving me a time. Come on, man. Just tap, tap, tap it. All right. There we go. Set this aside, and I'm just going to break this up and give it a little mixy-mixy. And I'm going to do this for about, I'd say, a minute or two. Now I'm going to add my 1 egg and vanilla. So that would be a teaspoon of vanilla and 1 egg. I just mixed it in the cup together because it'll be easier to pour in here and show you guys. So mixy-mixy. There we go. Set that to the side. And we're just going to mix this up until it all comes together. Now that that's all mixed in, what I'm going to do is add my flour and my baking powder and baking soda, which I've mixed into my flour, to my mixed sugars, butter, egg, vanilla. I'm gonna add that all to here. But before doing that, I am going to add my one initial ingredient, which I don't think that I had listed, which is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We do need to add salt to cookies, I know, but I also didn't say this as well. I don't use unsalted butter, I use salted butter. And I'm more of a savory cookie type of person. I need to have that salt in my cookies, and I really like them that way. So this recipe probably has a little bit more salt than most people have in their chocolate chip cookie recipes, but I think it adds more flavor to the cookie. So I'm going to add that salt now. All right, we're towards the end of mixing here. It's almost all together. Now what I like to do is right now, we're gonna pour our chocolate chips and mix them in. Last thing. Okay, I'm just gonna mix those cookies in. So, I've gotten my mix, or my cookie mix, all mixed together, and I have preheat the oven to 350 degrees. And I'm going to line my cookie sheet with some parchment paper. And you can see not perfect, and that's okay. We like things rustic around here. And we're going to roll our cookies. You can also do these as drop cookies. I do not. I like mine to be round, so I'm going to roll them and place them out on my cookie sheet. And I'll show you how I prefer to do that. Also, just to note, this cookie dough is going to be pretty soft, and that's how it's supposed to be. So I'm just going to take a little bit of it at the tip of like a larger spoon. So I'm going to say it's about maybe 1.5 inches. That's the size that you're going to want. And you're going to place that right there. And I like to line mine out this way and then fill it in for space reasons. So I'll do that again. Now, when I put these in the oven, they're gonna take about, I would say 12 to 15 minutes, but also you need to know it depends on how hot your oven runs. If you have an electric oven, like if you have a, convection oven, all of those things, it really depends. I just have an electric oven, it's not gas. It runs a little hot, so I know that mine are probably gonna be done in about 12 to 13 minutes, but my biggest advice is to just make sure you're paying attention to them and how crispy they're getting on the bottom, and you'll know when they're ready. They will have a brown ring on the outside, a little brown crust, so that they're ready, and you don't want them to go further than that. You can hear them sizzle, sizzle. This is what you want to see when you see those cookies, those brown, just brown. Might get a little bit crispier. This is why you have to know your oven, and it might take a little longer. It might not take as long. Now look at that goodness. That brown goodness. That's what I'm called. Just plain.
Now here are my super simple chocolate chip cookies. I'm not sure how many times I said super simple chocolate chip cookies or halves, but here you go.
Ask any of the chickens in the pen. I'll tell you I'm the biggest mother. We're gonna have to stop. I think I found out. You said you were gonna be here soon. I need you.
It's working.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Do it, lady.
Mm-hmm.